I'm Laura McPhee, Insight Editor at Pensions Insight and Engaged Investor magazines, and I'm here with Paul McGlone, a partner at Aon Hewitt. Very good to have you here, Paul.
Thank you.
So we've been talking about de-risking, and there's been a lot of focus on the asset side, but I understand you think the liability side needs some looking at, and I just wondered if you could tell me a bit about that.
Absolutely. I mean, where we are at the moment is trustees spend an awful lot of time thinking about de-risking their assets, and quite rightly so. There's some big wins to be had, and there's a lot of assets out there, but actually liabilities are bigger than assets, and liabilities are in some ways just as risky. So while trustees have spent a lot of time on the asset side, we really think they can spend and should spend more time thinking about what they can do with the liabilities as well.
And why should they be doing that?
Well, there's the obvious things such as dealing with what's known as liability management exercises, enhanced transfer values and PI exercises. But there's also much more basic things that trustees should be doing. So for example, actually cleaning the data and making sure you're paying out the right benefits. In many cases, the data in schemes still isn't clean, there are mistakes in benefit payments, or there are simply approximations where we don't really know what the data is, and so we have to guess. And all of those things mean there are uncertainties, and you don't actually know what liabilities you're due to pay out. That comes with risks.
Right, so why aren't pension schemes doing that already?
I think there's a couple of reasons. One is what's promoted to them. The asset managers and the investment consultants have been out very proactively selling de-risking asset solutions, and they are good ideas. And people haven't been out selling liability management solutions as much. But the other is that from a practical perspective, it's very easy to pick up, let's say, £100 million of assets and move them somewhere that's lower risk. When you get to liability de-risking, it's about individual members, individual data, and that gets really messy. It gets complicated, it starts to open up a whole can of worms, and frankly, trustees haven't had the appetite to do that in the past.